What's going on, guys? Today we're working on a memory card made by my favorite brand, Lexar. This card has a wedding on it. If you shoot weddings, you need to get a camera that has two slots in it and shoot it together as a mirror, so you always have a backup copy. Cards can fail out of the blue for no specific reason. 1 minute they work and the next they don't. If you don't have a backup, you'll be in the same boat as the owner of this card. Today's case was a surprising one. Usually when we have schematics available to us, most of the time they are complete, but today was not the case. We had a partial schematic which happened to be not enough. What happened to this card and how I handled it, you'll find out by watching this video. Before we start, guys, I really wanted to ask you to help this video out by commenting whatever you want down in the comment section below, and I would really appreciate if you thumbs up this video to help it go up in the charts. And yeah, enjoy the show. While Lexar was actively producing cards, every single card that they would make would be exactly the same, or at least there was 2 or 3 different variations of them, but they were all looking very much alike, and solving problems with them was a breeze. I suppose there's not going to be LDPC algorithm in there, but what we have inside is this one big monolithic chip. At the back here, we can see it has these dots. These are test points which are conveniently made for us so that we can communicate with the NAND protocol of the card. I think I'm gonna do like a full desk review for you guys soon. There's so much stuff here that I really need to show you how the desk should not look like. This is the adapter I'm gonna use. It's a multi-com adapter. It can be used for many different platforms, and that is the reason why I love it, is that this interface right here is universal for all programmers that you would read with. It shouldn't take too long to wire it up, especially on an adapter that I already have pre-tinned. Turn on the fume extraction and we're ready to go. So the wire I use is a 46 gauge. It's a really thin wire. It's 0.04 millimeters thick, and it's coated so that if, let's say, we have some wires crossing, there's no short circuit. So if we reference the schematic, we can see that some pads are connected and some pads are not connected. I can tell that these 4 are connected, so we're gonna tin those. These 3 are connected, so we're gonna tin those. This one and these 2. And these 2. And if you found this video because your card isn't working either, and you lost something important on it that you don't want to lose, this is the service that you're gonna need. This thing is called chip off recovery. Even though there's no chip that we're removing here, we're getting to the chip through NAND protocol. Alright, so you see this wire, it's orange like that, but when we touch it, instantly it turns silver. So that's called tinning, and just like that, it's connected. Now we head over to the signal that it corresponds with, C3, and attach it. Done. So that one is affixed. We go to the next one. The wire is already pre-tinned a little bit. We don't need to tin it again. It's a C1. On this side of the adapter, the signals we have CLE and WE, so we're going to hunt those out. CLE is the next one after C1 down the line. Then we're gonna wire up the I/O signals, starting with I/O1. There's I/O1. I/O3. This is 5. Okay, so we got C2. That's C0 right there. ALE is this one. RE is at the bottom right there. Okay, RB0. There's RB1 actually. RB1. That's 2. This one right here is 4. And this is 6. Alright, so all of these are set. For VCC and the ground, we're gonna use so here I'll go like this, make a little bridge. So the circuit can be tested with the multimeter. I use diode test mode, probing ground with the red probe, and just going over through all the signals one by one, making sure that they make one short beep like this. One that shouldn't produce constant beep is this one, and it doesn't. Okay, so we don't have a short circuit on main VCC rail. I'll connect this PC3000 reader, and these two adapters will help me to connect the wired up piece to the equipment. So we'll just set it up like that, plug and play, and link them together. Let me show you something. During the error correction phase, I decided to check something and quickly realized that whatever was going on may turn out to be not effective enough. So we have 4 parts to this chip, correct? If we go into properties of this chip and look at the basic parameters, we see that each part represents 16 gigs, and 16 gigs times 4 is 64. I've seen these cards being counterfeit many times, but this is a genuine card. This silver backing is fully reflective. There are no pixelation in the font. Everything everything looks legit about this card. This is a real deal. Okay, so the fact that I was only getting 64 gigs instead of 128 was surprising to me. Over here we got 1, 2, 3, 4 C signals, right? This pad right here was used by C0, which I have relocated right here, and now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 unused pads. There is a chance that this card may have a second channel, but I decided to test it, and instead of this pad I routed C0 to this pad, and when I have it connected to the adapter, and if we switch over to the screen, we have this blue light here because I set it up to be read directly. It's not dumping it into a file, it's reading it on the flight and filling the file up as it's addressing certain parts of it. So if we go into Page Designer, okay, if we go into Page Designer, I took a screenshot of a sector number 10,000. And this is what we get in the hex of our new CE0, which is now on a separate pad. And this is what it used to compare to for what we had on the first run. As you can see, it's totally different content. The content is different because this chip has 8 CE channels. 8 CE channels will equate to 128 gigs. But how do we obtain it? How do we make it so that it's 8 CE channels? My adapter only has 4 CE outputs. So it's a little bit of a creative thing here. And the way I'm going to handle it is this. Because there are 8 Cs and only 4 CE channels on the adapter, I'm gonna set it up as if this task needs to have 2 chips. This is why I renamed it into test. I'm gonna say yes, execute the way they are here. So if we look at these parts here, now our service areas look great. They look clean and sequential. So now we're gonna have something that is going to be always higher in the sequence. If we look here, service information for selection, we have 0, 0 here, 0, 1 here. We compare these two neighbors, we got 0.2 here, 0.3 here. We compare these two neighbors, we've got 0, 0 here, sorry, 0, 0 here and 0, 1 here, and these two 0, 2 and 0, 3. First we're gonna split it up by block just to see if broken parts are close or almost identical, because that will indicate that there is interleave. All right, so we got very similar looking parts. We're gonna join them by pages. That's first step of the interleave. Okay, and then we compare these. Do they look the same? Yeah, they do look very much the same. So after this element, I'm gonna use something else to join them, and that's typical for this type of device, for Lexar Professional 1000X card with removable chips. And this element is called join by blocks and sources. And in here we're gonna choose the length of the page, 64, and amount of parts we're gonna join all the parts from each compartment, right? So this one and that one, so 4 of each. Now go into service information and check. Let's go step it up. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everything is going sequentially. Now we're gonna run raw recovery in here. Okay, so it looks like we're finding some NEF files for Nikon RAW. Some JPEGs. Okay, well, the JPEGs are coming up green. That's a good sign, because JPEGs, as you may know, are big enough for confirmation that the file is good. Let's open up this file. It opens up. We're on the right path. So there is no lacing between these two. I'm gonna just join them by dumps. And on this part, I'm just gonna build a translator using extension for block number SDCF. We know our controller is based on this here, is SM2704. Let's see what it's gonna build for us. So it calculates a bunch of stuff, including the update size for sectors. So we have an exFAT partition, and it's got subdirectory. This is a Sony camera from what I can tell. Clips, there are videos here. For the most part, all of the content on this card was functional. There were a few files that I opened up that had some major pixelation in like middle section, but then it gone away. This is a clear sign of bit errors inside of sectors. And no matter how hard I tried to reread the content of that chip to improve it, it would just not budge. It reached a certain point and it would not go any further. This card had been ran on all three tools, and the assembly between them was nearly identical. I compared the size of the use space data from all three tools. Everything was coming out with just, you know, a couple of fractions of a megabytes difference. So as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing more that I could have done to get the result to be any better. My hopes that in post, the owner of this card will be able to edit that out. Having content that works off the card versus not having anything at all is obviously a day and a night difference. So if you lost data and you need it back, again, link in the description will take you to our website where you guys can request these services. Thank you for watching this episode. If you're new here and you're interested in data recovery, you found a place. All we do on this channel is cover data recovery procedures, hard drives, flash drives, SSDs, memory cards, anything that stores data digitally that breaks, we work with it here. So do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.